There were three big-name restricted free agents that were waiting to be signed, to contracts for the season. Stars forward Jamie Benn, Canadiens defenseman PK Subban, and Avalanche forward Ryan O'Reilly. The season started and none of them had signed a contract during the 1 week of training camp and during the first week of the NHL that started. It wasn't until January 24th that any of them had signed a contract, with Jamie Benn being the first one. PK Subban was next, signing his on January 28th, but the Avalanche hadn't signed Ryan O'Reilly yet, and talks broke off for weeks. Then things got really interesting on February 28th, when the Calgary Flames signed the restricted free agent to an offer sheet. The deal was for 2 years and $10 million. 4 hours later, the Avalanche matched the offer, preventing O'Reilly from going to Calgary. After nearly 2 months, Ryan O'Reilly finally had a team he could start playing for. When this gets borderline comical is if the Avalanche didn't match the Flames' offer, and also highlights why we're signing restricted free agents away from teams is always risky, if not highly discouraged. If they didn't match the offer, the Flames would have had to send their first and third overall picks for 2013 to the Colorado Avalanche. Will they have automatically acquired Ryan O'Reilly? Not exactly. Apparently, Flames GM Jay Feaster wasn't aware of a clause in the collective bargaining agreement that stated that anybody who played in Europe, as O'Reilly did for 2 games in the Continental Hockey League, needed to clear waivers before joining the team as a free agent. This is regarding restricted free agents. This clause did not apply to the Avalanche because he was previously employed by the Avalanche. If the Avs didn't match the offer, O'Reilly would have had to clear waivers before joining the Flames, and anybody that didn't mind the $5 million cap hit could have picked him up and screwed over Calgary. The Avalanche essentially bailed out Jay Feaster from nearly making a very stupid mistake, as he could have potentially given up a first-round pick, a third-round pick, and not even acquire the player that he sought to sign. On the other side of the saga, this ends a long and ugly contract dispute for the Avalanche and Ryan O'Reilly. This dispute got so heated that Brian O'Reilly, Ryan's father, sent a scathing email to the Denver Post blasting the Avalanche management, claiming that the team didn't value his son's character. Safe to say, the O'Reillys and Avalanche don't appear to be on good terms at the moment. The team can't trade him because they matched the Flames' offer sheet, requiring the Avalanche to hold on to O'Reilly for at least another year. If there's any consolation for the Avalanche, at least this wasn't a Shea Weber situation in which the Flyers signed Weber to a 14-year, $110 million contract that the Predators matched in order to remain competitive. What's troubling, in my opinion, is that the Avalanche waited for somebody else to sign O'Reilly before they made a move themselves. That tells me that they wanted to see what other teams felt O'Reilly should be paid before deciding that he was in fact worth that much. It's an extremely awkward way to go about things, and it will be interesting to see how Ryan O'Reilly and Avalanche management interact the rest of the year. O'Reilly will make a season debut against the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight. He'll center the third line with Milan Hajduk and John Mitchell. With the Avalanche right now on the outside looking in regarding the standings, it'll be nice for them to get production from their newly formed third line. O'Reilly's now getting paid $5 million to produce, and Avs fans will be eager to see how he starts. Coming up after the break, goalie shenanigans in Sunrise, Florida leaves one team having to put their goaltending coach as a backup, while the other team loses their starting goalie to injury.